I was 16, glued to the TV in our living room, controller in hand, deep into a FIFA match against some online rival from God knows where. It was a Saturday, well, technically Sunday morning by then, around 3 a.m. The house was dead quiet, except for the occasional cheer from the virtual crowd on the screen. My sister Emily, who was 14 at the time, had a crash out on the couch next to me. She'd been watching me play earlier, trash-talking my skills, but eventually nodded off with her head tilted back, mouth slightly open, like she always did. Dad was in his room down the hall, snoring away after a long shift at the warehouse. And then there was Whiskers, our lazy tabby cat, curled up on the armrest like a furry sentinel. Nobody else in the house, just us in our split little suburban home. I was mid-game sweating it out in extra time when I heard this weird crunching sound coming from the kitchen. It was to my left, just through the open doorway. Sounded exactly like the ice maker in the fridge dumping a fresh batch into the bin. I paused for a second, glanced over, but the kitchen was dark, and I figured that it was just ice. No big deal. Houses make noises at night, right? Creaks, pops, and the occasional thumps from the AC kicking on. So I just shook it off. I jumped so hard, I dropped the controller. My heart slammed against my ribs. What the f***? I muttered under my breath, whipping my head around. The living room was still dim, lit only by the TV's glow, and Emily was right there, still asleep. Whiskers hadn't even flinched. Dad's door was shut, no movement from his room. But that crash, it came from the front entryway. My mind raced. Is it burglar? Window breaking? Some psycho smashing in? Emily stirred then, probably from the noise or my freakout. Her eyes fluttered open, and she sat up. Jake, what was that? I don't know, it sounded like something shattered. Stay here. She blinked at me, wide-eyed now. No way. What if it's someone breaking in? I hesitated. She had a point. We weren't little kids anymore, but in that moment, I felt like it. I grabbed the nearest thing I could pass for a weapon, a pair of those big kitchen scissors from the coffee table. My mom used to keep it in a drawer with the rest of her crafting stuff before she left us last year. Yeah, Mom bailed on us after the divorce and went off to Florida with her new boyfriend, leaving Dad to handle everything. It sucked, but we got used to it. Anyway, scissors in hand, I felt a tiny bit braver. Emily insisted on coming, so I handed her another pair, the little sewing ones, but sharp enough. Okay, fine, but stay behind me, I said. Okay, but if it's a robber, I'm stabbing first, she replied, trying to sound tough, but her voice was a little cracked. We both laughed nervously, that sibling thing where you joke over to cover fear. We crept down the short hallway, hearts pounding, peering around corners like we were in some dumb horror movie. The front room was pitch black, but as we got closer, I could see shards glinting on the floor under the moonlight from the window. I flipped on the light switch with my elbow, scissors raised like an idiot knight. And there it was, the glass desk by the front door, the one Dad picked up cheap at a garage sale years ago, completely shattered. The top was gone, just jagged edges around the metal frame, and the old iMac that sat on it had plummeted. Glass everywhere, big chunks, tiny slivers, sparkling like deadly confetti. Holy shit, Emily breathed, stepping closer, but stopping when I held my arm out. Don't move, you'll cut your feet. We're both barefoot, you idiot. She shook her head, scanning the room. No one's here. The door's locked, windows too. Whiskers? The cat was still on the couch, not a care in the world. No earthquake. We would have felt that. No sign of anyone forcing entry, and it was just like the desk decided to explode. Spontaneous combustion or something. I poked a shard with my toe. This is messed up. Emily crouched down, peering at the mess. Remember that story Aunt Karen told about her mirror cracking for no reason? Said it was a bad omen. I rolled my eyes. Aunt Karen's full of shit. Probably just old glass, stressed or something. But deep down, I was spooked. Our house wasn't haunted or anything. At least, I didn't think so. It was built in the 80s. Nothing creepy about it. We stood there for a minute, whispering theories. Maybe temperature, cold night, hot computer. Emily suggested. Nah, the iMac wasn't even on. We gotta go get Dad. She nodded. Yeah, he's gonna flip. We padded back to his room, knocking softly at first, then louder. Dad, something happened.
Quick break. My new channel, Broccoli Animations, is now live. I'm posting new full-length videos there daily. Time to join me there. Link in bio.
He grumbled awake, door creaking open, his hair all messed up, and his old boxers and tee. What, Jake? Oh, it's 3 in the damn morning. The desk in the front room, it just shattered, I said, trying to sound calm. He stared at us, blinking. What do you mean shattered? Like exploded. Glass everywhere. Dad rubbed his eyes, muttering a curse. Did you kids break it? Horseplay or something? No, Dad, I swear to God, we were in the living room. Jake was playing video games and I was asleep. We heard the crash and went to check. No one's there.
Oh.
He sighed heavy, like the weight of the world. Since Mom left, he'd been carrying everything. Bills, the kids, house. All right, show me. We let him back and he surveyed the damage. Jesus, that's a mess. You sure nothing hit it? The cat didn't jump on it? Whiskers was with us, and he's too fat to jump that high. Dad chuckled despite himself. Yeah, poor guy's more pillow than predator these days. He knelt down, careful of the glass. Weird. Tempered glass can do that sometimes. Spontaneous breakage, but... I don't know. Emily crossed her arms. So it's not a ghost? He shot her a look. No ghost, Em. Just bad luck. I could tell that he was unsettled, too. Go back to bed, both of you. I'll handle this in the morning. There's school tomorrow, so... Oh, wait. No, it's Sunday. Still, go to bed. We protested a bit. Can we help? Emily asked. But he waved us off. No, I'll just clean it first thing in the morning. Back in the living room, Emily and I couldn't sleep. We sat on the couch whispering. That was scary as hell, she admitted. I thought for sure it was a burglar. Me too. I felt like my balls were in my throat. She punched my arm lightly. Gross, Jake. But yeah, remember when Mom used to say the house had character? Maybe she meant poltergeists. Mom said a lot of things, like how she said she'd always be there for us. Yeah, she said softly. It's bad she left, but we got Dad and each other. True. We fist bumped, that corny sibling ritual we had. Eventually she dozed off again, and I tried to finish my game, but my mind was elsewhere, staring at the screen. I kept glancing back towards the front door, half expecting another crash. Years later, Emily and I still joke about it over beers when we visit Dad. Remember that exploding desk, she'd say? And we'd laugh, recounting the scissor-wielding adventure. It's become kind of a bit of a family lore.